Yes, yes, yes. We are live. What's happening? How are we doing? So we're coming to live from Morocco. So if you're coming through, please just say hi. And what I want you to do in the comments is, because I think we always have to make sure that we're doing some form of task. If we're coming on live, we've got to make sure that we're showing up and we are reflecting and improving ourselves. So what I want you to do is in the comments below, I want you to let me know what your biggest win of the day was. It doesn't matter how small that win was. I want you to recognize it. So do that in the comments below for me. And if you come and watch, let me know by just dropping the love heart button. So we're out here for 5 days. This is how I invest in myself. I come and be part of this business mastermind. And helps me improve myself, my business, the way I live my life. And I'm surrounded by really great people. So it's nice to be able to come out here. Man, it is like humid. It is hot. I haven't been anywhere this hot since Afghan, but at least I don't have to go and patrol. But I nearly bottled coming here. I nearly bottled it. And if you've ever done a race, you know what I mean. So before you go on a race, you build up this internal anxiety, right? You build up this fear, this overthinking process in your head about everything that's going to happen in that race. And it sometimes makes you get to the point where you feel sick. And you look for every excuse not to show up to that race. Even though you're going to keep persevering and keep going through, but you look for every reason not to do it, right? And that's kind of like what I was like. We did the workshops in Birmingham. I got back and I got a day with the family before coming out. And I was thinking, oh, I can make this excuse for not coming. I'll make this excuse for not coming. I don't really want to deal with the logistics of trying to get here. Is it going to be a nightmare? Is it going to be like, man, you just naturally overthink everything, right? And I think overthinking prevents us from doing a lot of things that would ultimately benefit us. We overthink about improving ourselves. We overthink about doing things that change the way that we show up. We overthink about taking part in a race. We overthink about our relationships, about our career. And we end up building up a blockage. So it's like if you imagine a blockage in a drain. If you think about the flow of a water going through a drain, the overthinking is the blocking. It stops the flow. And that overthinking for you and me is what blocks us in here mentally. It stops us from being able to show up like the way that we want to show up, right? So how do you overcome that? How do you overcome that? How do you overcome that overthinking and overwhelm? And I think the biggest thing is recognizing it but being prepared to put yourself on the line to change the way that you think, changing the thought process. So if we constantly think, I want to do a half marathon, straight away what we do is overthink about, I can't do that, or people will judge me, or so what I'll end up doing, the thought process is, I won't do it, I'll do it another time. But imagine if we changed, actually, if we went against the grain, and we said, right, I've booked it, I'm in, that's the first major step, and then you started training, and then you start doing all the things that make you feel uncomfortable. And that's suddenly when we're out of our comfort zone. We come out of that comfort zone and we start thinking to ourselves, oh my God, I'm doing stuff that I don't usually do here. This is scary. But then it becomes the norm. Sorry about the camera being all over the place. I forgot my tripod. But then it becomes the norm, right? It becomes normal to feel uncomfortable and do those things. But all those things that we used to feel uncomfortable with now become normal because we've changed the process and the way of thinking. So like for me, I've done lots of things over the last 10 years that have made me feel uncomfortable, but I've changed the process and overcome that uncomfortableness. And then all of a sudden, I've got used to it. So I've got used to traveling. I've got used to going through the process. I've got used to overcoming that mentality. And that's how we get better, right? That's how we improve ourselves. So I'm going to challenge you. If you haven't done our 5-day challenge, or you have done our 5-day challenge, and you want to do it again, don't overthink about it. Just register it and show up for it. And that's the only thing. That's your 1% win, is showing up. And our free 5-day challenge is to give you that insight to go, let's get you used to being out of your comfort zone. Let's change the process. Let's change the outcome for a change. And it's a no-brainer because it's free. There are no catches, nothing behind the scenes. It's completely free. And we've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years. We've had over 10,000 guys register for it. So why wouldn't you do it? Overthinking it, overthinking the process, overthinking the outcomes. Just do it and see where it leads you. All right, guys, until the morning, have a good night.